رمضان هل هلاله وظلاله وجماله رمضان
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. You're watching Soul Food on ITV. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for another beautiful day in the month of Ramadan. We thank Allah for the ni'mah of Islam and for the bounty of Iman. Because it is only through this bounty of Islam and Iman that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had chosen guidance for us, subhanallah. And to talk more about this guidance and to talk about the value of this guidance of Islam and Iman, I have someone very special in studio today. His name is Junaid Senekal. And Junaid is a special person not only because he's an entrepreneur and an artist, but because he made a huge change in his life. Junaid, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
I'm keeping our viewers in suspense about this big change that you had made in your life, subhanallah. But how does a boy from French Huguenot origin, growing up in the northern suburbs, moving to Franschhoek, pure Afrikaner in every sense of the word, how does that person end up finding out about Islam?
Wow. First of all, I knew absolutely nothing about Islam. All I knew was Muslims are very clean and they worship this black box in Mecca. Yes. That is how you've been brought up, that is how you've been taught, that is what Islam is about. But you knew nothing. I met a Muslim brother about 2000, about 16 years ago. He and his brother and cousin, basically, in a time period of 4 years, guided me in a very minimalistic way. They never use the word Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but they focus more on Jesus, but the role of Jesus in Islam, Nabi Isa, and slowly of their actions, the way that we have learned from them, World Trade Center, 9/11, what also happened, why is Muslims terrorists, all that kind of questions start coming in. We were ignorant. We knew absolutely nothing. A typical boertjie, hy weet niks. And the year 2004, that was about June, me and my mother, then their cousin's son told us, but you can embrace, you can become Muslim. We thought you have to be born and follow your religion, that is how it works. We didn't knew that. Then I said, but we can't even talk Arabic, we knew nothing. He said, step by step you will learn. We were very excited. We decided immediately we're going to start searching for a name, a Muslim name, and 24 hours later, me and my mother, we both said the kalima.
Allahu Akbar, subhanallah.
And it took 4 years, not overnight, Akbar. 4 years.
But this is especially intriguing for me, because this journey, you had this simultaneous journey yourself and your mother.
Yes.
How did that happen? Because that is indeed a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
It's difficult to explain to anyone. Maybe it's hidayah. Maybe there's a way Allah's opening your eyes. Because that time, we were not really dawah was actually done, to us. It is more like opening your heart, opening your soul, see things from a different perspective. And that is, in a way, and one of the main issues was when the cousin's son came to stay with us, I have to wake him up in the morning for Fajr Salah. And I was amazed. I never saw this before my whole life. Here he is doing abdas, washing himself, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's, making salah. And as a Christian, I sleep. I'm not going to stand up that time in the morning to pray and say shukr and say thank you God, Allah, to help me or protect me for the day and help me for my rizq. That was like, wow, is this a way of showing respect to our Creator? Then
subhanallah.
Yeah, it's a salt I'm doing that is the right way.
Yes.
That is, and it is going about effort.
Yes.
That is the one thing I've realized. Because are you going to live an easy lifestyle, you don't care, you don't worry, you do what you want, or is it going about actually a token of appreciation?
Yes.
What will you do in return for Allah? Because we need Allah. But what will we do in return to say shukran?
Subhanallah. But you know, you're making it sound very easy. And if it was that easy, I'm sure we would have seen many people come into the fold of Islam. And inshallah, we hope that is going to be the future of Islam in South Africa. But usually there are many stumbling blocks and hurdles that are holding people back, even though sometimes they recognize the truth. So how did you overcome some of those hurdles, or wasn't it even an option? When you saw Islam, you knew this is what you wanted?
I was lucky. I wasn't a person who actually drink. That was easy, except my cocktails I like, but I'm not a wine drinker, and I ate beer. And ironically, I never grew up in a home eating pork. I had ham, but I didn't even knew ham was pork. And that was the easy part, you know, to revert to Islam. But it was a huge sacrifice. You have to cut yourself out from majority restaurants. You can't go there anymore. You can't go eat there. Everything else was easy to follow. But it was conscious awareness, a huge change. And, you know, it's like, I will go still to a coffee shop, I will have a chicken mayonnaise sandwich. Then actually, my one brother I knew, he paused and he said, but listen here, I just want to guide you. You know, they use pork fat or the oils to do their bacon, and then you're taking chicken of the same oil and you're eating that. That was also a shock, because it is something that didn't happen overnight. But me and my mother immediately, we throw away all our collection of wine bottles. It was just a collection for investment reasons. We threw that away. We changed all our meat immediately. The next day we went to, you know, to Home Affairs. We changed our IDs, everything, because we knew this is the right pathway to follow. But maybe in a rush when we started, but something to come into the path of Islam, a step by step.
Yes.
And it's going about eye-opener, it's going about your heart, how your heart feels. It's like almost slowly but slowly Allah guide you. This is right and this is wrong. And then you realize, like when I went to the mosque, I mean, that is a story, Steyn and Franschhoek. I don't know where the mosque is. You know, it took me almost 6 months to find the closest mosque, and that was in Stellenbosch. I didn't know where it was. And the struggle to get that, guidance for people to help me, was also difficult. But I have to do the effort.
Yes.
To show how much do you appreciate it.
Subhanallah, you said you went in and it was, you know, it was with full vigor. It was with a rush, but you said something important, and I'm going to touch on that just when we come back after the break. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You're watching Soul Food on ITV, and I'm having a fascinating discussion with my guest, Junaid Senekal. Junaid, assalamu alaikum once again wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You said, when you knew you wanted to embrace Islam, you and your mother, you went in, like you said, you changed your name, you went through the process. But in hindsight, you are saying that for those who are interested in Islam, and especially for the Muslims also who are perhaps helping a person who had embraced Islam, take it step by step.
I'm going to tell a story of someone that I heard. It was a family that was atheist. They discover religion, but they didn't know what is the right way to follow. And they had a wine farm. The end of the day is they realized Islam was the correct religion to follow. But unfortunately, I'm not going to give names, a sheikh or a Molana, I don't know. He told them, okay, you can embrace Islam, but you have to get rid of your wine farm. Then you can accept Islam. That put them off. Immediately they decided to convert to Christianity. And they're happy today. If you think logically with time, you could have guided them, convert your farm to grape juice. By grape juice, you can certify it halal, and through that process, you can still go on, step by step. Everything is going by step by step. If you're going to tell someone quickly, they're not going to sacrifice their lifestyle. They're going to sacrifice their parties, their drinking, their food, where they're going. It is a process for a person to realize. Because if I have to go now with friends to a normal restaurant, I feel so uncomfortable. I know I can't eat there at all. Then I will rather drink a coffee. but they have to respect me if I don't eat. That is a process you have to go through, because your ruh will guide you. This is right and this is wrong, but step by step. Even it take a week, a month, or a year.
Subhanallah. So you were a restaurateur also?
Yes.
You were the owner of a restaurant. We know Franschhoek is famous for its restaurants and for its wine. But how did it affect your business? Or did it affect your business at all?
Yes. Because I still didn't know how to do dawah, to convince people what is the right way of Islam, what to do. I opened a restaurant to know the community because I knew no one. That time we were like isolated in Franschhoek and everyone is in Cape Town, but we know nobody and nobody knows us. The end of the day is the people in Franschhoek were scared. It's something new, you know, they don't know what is going on. Franschhoek looks like Gatesville on a daily basis. We turned away 800 Muslims a day at the restaurant. We are fully booked. We had threats, our staff. Then imagine Mother's Day, you come in there, even our Noor channel was there and there's no waiters. They channel all the people and say, listen, you're targeting you, you're staying away. You families working at this farm, you're staying away. We start taking business away from other restaurants in Franschhoek. And at the end of the day, 80% to 90% of our clientele was non-Muslims. And that was also an opportunity to give them dawah. The end of the day is, I have to fled for my life. Me and my mother, we came to Cape Town on the first day of Ramadan, 2007. But again, I can't judge what the people have done in Franschhoek. Maybe that is what Allah wanted. We came here, and at the end of the day, we went through a university learning process of 4.5 years. And if I can give an example, it's going to sound rude, but that time, I thought as a white person, I'm superior. I was maybe very racist. I thought Muslims don't have money, they're poor people. I've came here with nothing. Me and my mother, to look in other people's eyes. And we learned all the different groups, all the politics, everything about Islam, you know, about characters of people, what Islam is going about. People are inviting you, but they don't know you. How can you invite me for lunch, but you don't know me, or for supper? That was weird for us. It was a process we needed to go through. We stayed even in Grassy Park. We stayed even in Ballard. We stayed in Rylands most of the time. We stayed in Gatesville. We stayed in Lansdowne. We stayed everywhere. We literally went through the whole community to learn from all the groups. There was a time I stayed with Somalians. And that gave me a different perspective and to learn, you know, where you were coming down and to realize in Islam everyone is equal.
Subhanallah. And through all this time, because this is difficulty, this is hardship,
it was.
This is being tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's so easy at that times, when you are at your most vulnerable, because of this decision that you made, to start thinking, was this the right decision? And you know, we would discover Islam, obviously, and you know, we hear about all the cases of people having embraced Islam. They couldn't take the heat, basically, and they would go back to their old religion. But you persevered and you made it through. Subhanallah. It must have taken its toll.
As a Christian, you will think you're going to kill yourself. That is how worse it was. The times we went through. There was a time of 8 months. Me and my mother lived on 5 rand a day. It wasn't easy. There was no food. Then a Muslim brother actually invited us for supper. He's buying for everyone tikka except for me. He said, "You used to bread." That is test what we went through. Test in the community to learn. But alhamdulillah, I made a lot of friends. I made family in the Muslim community to learn. But it was a time of really getting tested your ihsan.
Yes.
Do you believe in Allah? And Allah will test your capability, what can you handle and what you can't handle. And the end of the day, it was just going about hasbunallah. That is what everything is going about. Doesn't matter. We even experience in Ramadan about sadaqah, charity, people giving you, food parcels or money. It's not something we even expected. And at the same time, we also came to the community and we stayed for a year. Twice I had a dream. And I saw the Kaaba in front of me, and I was walking with Ihram to the Kaaba. And then I met a Saudi brother from Makkah. and he personally invited me and my mother to come for Hajj.
Allahu
And that
Akbar.
was 2008.
MashaAllah. And that must have been something special after all the difficulty. And you get this relief. It's like, it reminds me of the Prophet ﷺ getting the Mi'raj after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested him with so much difficulty in Taif. SubhanAllah, how was your Hajj?
It was a wonderful experience.
I know we don't have the time, but at least you must give us some highlights.
At least it was still winter, so
Okay.
it was good. It was, when you saw the Kaaba for the first time, I thought it was like I was in a Walt Disney movie.
Subhanallah.
That was the feeling. But Alhamdulillah, again, Hajj is going about your niyyah.
Yes.
What you're making, Allah will grant you. Especially to visit some of the ziyarah places what is impossible to visit. But if your niyyah is correct, anything is possible. And that is what your journey must be for Hajj. About
Subhanallah.
purifying yourself, learning from your mistakes, and going about your intentions.
SubhanAllah, we're having an absolutely fascinating discussion this morning with Junaid Senekal, and we'll be back right after this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. You're watching Soul Food on ITV. In studio I have Junaid Senekal, a river to Islam. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had tested him in so many ways, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by his own admission, had also granted him so much. Junaid, mashallah, what a fascinating journey. And obviously the journey is not complete. The journey continues. Where are you at currently?
I'm back in Franschhoek, Alhamdulillah, from
Alhamdulillah.
2012. My mother passed away at the end of 2012. And Alhamdulillah, she was back for 1 year and she passed away as a Muslim. And if I was not in the community for 4.5 years and saw all the janazas, then I think it would have been very difficult for me. But I had especially one family, they till today emotionally support me all the way. And we even talk every day on the telephone, how you doing, how was your day. I have a lot of friends, a lot of families who I'm still in contact with. But there's one family especially, they're the reason why I became Muslim, me and my mother. I decided also to took them now for Umrah. I went now for the first time after 8 years again for Umrah.
MashaAllah.
And went for 3 weeks, and we went Makkah, Medina, as well as Israel, Palestine, Masjid al-Aqsa.
Yeah.
And, going back, sorry, I'm breaking. Focus is gone. But
So it was an amazing journey.
yes, it was.
Subhanallah.
There's not words to describe, to go, especially to Palestine, to be there and, to go to Masjid al-Aqsa, to go to the Dome of the Rock, especially growing up, loving all the prophets, to visit every single grave of the prophets. We had the opportunity when we were there, we had a private tour guide, and everywhere where we went, we were alone. Only the 4 of us and the tour guide was alone with every single Nabi.
Yes.
And that was amazing experience.
Allahu Akbar.
Don't even talk about Makkah, Medina's experiences. Sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, if your niyyah is correct, miraculously you experience, what the naked eye can't even explain. And that kind of experiences we had. And, because of that, we talked about earlier, about my art, I decided to bring that inspiration, that passion, into my art.
Yes, subhanAllah, I was walking in Franschhoek 3 weeks ago, and I passed by a sign that said Junaid Senekal Gallery. And I was quite surprised, and I walked in there and I spent about an hour there just looking at your works, mashallah. So this is a big part of what you are doing currently.
Yes, that is my passion I'm following. I did started painting when I was 5 years old, but I do it professionally now. I have a huge clientele. From Allah granted us the opportunity to go back to Franschhoek in 2012. Till now, I've sold over 900 paintings.
Alhamdulillah.
And in a way, my clients always say they see a lot of passion in the work, but they can't explain it. It's like almost a painting let them relax.
Yes,
It's giving like
subhanallah.
a calm feeling.
Would you say that your Islam is playing a role
Yes.
in your works also now?
Yes, majority of my work, of course, is not Muslim friendly.
Okay.
You know, of doing animals, doing faces, you know, doing figures, paintings like that. But if you look at even that paintings, but even like my abstract paintings, I try to do it in a way so abstract that I actually, like now lately with my Umrah, I decided to bring the inspiration of Medina's Haram in an abstract way with the colors of the masjid without you even knowing. Because at the end of the day, it is not Muslims who are purchasing artwork. It's a non-Muslim. They don't know the understanding of the work, but they just love it. Imagine you have a leopard in your house, you're running 20 times out the staircase just to come look at the painting, and it's giving you a smile.
Yes.
And that is how I love to bring that kind of influence of passion, energy, positivity into the artwork, actually to make my clients, you know, happy, but also in a way bring Islam into the artwork, even without they even knowing that.
Subhanallah, it you know, when I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna ma'al usri yusra, that verily with the difficulty comes the ease. And it seems that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after you've experienced, you were on a footing, you experienced Islam, you went through tremendous challenges with the qudra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He made you persevere, He gave you the sabr, the tawfiq to come through on the other side. And you're sitting here, eligible bachelor.
Yes.
Well, hoping a good Boera Macy is going to come into his life, inshallah. We make dua. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
I'm too
grant
tall,
that.
that's the problem. Everyone is short.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Junaid, people are becoming Muslim, and there's a lot of issues. People experience a lot. You've experienced it firsthand. What is your message?
Sabr. Islam is going about for any revert. It is going about your character. You're going through test over and over in a wheel until you learn to develop. You accept, you know, bringing down your ego. Allah's not there to break you down. He's there to help you, to get somewhere, to be a better Muslim, to open the pathway for you, for Jannah. And for any person who's going through difficulty, if you think you're going through difficulty, someone else is going through worse difficulty, what you are going through. It is just going about having sabr. Focus, work on yourself. Stop showing fingers to anyone else. Oh, that person is jealous on me, or that one has nafs on me. Stop with that nonsense. Focusing on yourself. Maybe you're the one who are creating that. What are you doing wrong? Look at yourself, look at your heart, look at you as a human being, because that is what Islam is learning you.
Subhanallah, what a beautiful message. Junaid, I make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you all the best going forward in your life, inshallah.
Ameen.
That you have a great Ramadan, what's left of the month of Ramadan.
Ameen.
That He must inspire you and inspire our entire community with His love and with getting closeness towards Him. And shukran, jazakumullah khair for sharing this valuable moments with us. And we hope that when we see you again, it will be in the masjid for a nikah, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, it's no problem making dua for that.
Ameen.
Jazakumullah khair, and shukran for inspiring us this morning.
Afwan.
And shukran to you for staying tuned and joining us this morning. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
وظلاله وجماله رمضان وظلاله وجماله رمضان